Hi everyone. This week we're going to start a new unit on map skills and continents. So we're going to start off by looking at a map. So a map is a representation or a drawing of a place. Different kinds of maps show different features like countries, states, cities, and towns. Maps can also show rivers, lakes, mountains, and oceans. Maps help you to know where things are and how to get from one place to another. This is a map of the United States. This is a big river. There's some smaller rivers if you look close over here. But this is a map. A map is a flat drawing of the place. Got another map here. That's the map of the world. It too is flat, but we know our world isn't flat. We can also look at a globe. A globe is a three-dimensional model of Earth. A globe can show land, water, and other things like the equator, and some other things you'll learn about when you're older. So these are two globes that I've shown you pretty often in class. So we're going to talk more about the maps and the globes in this lesson. So we're going to start over here. This says, finding your way around. Maps help us understand our world. Maps help us find our way around. What do you think they mean by finding your way around? They mean knowing or discovering where you are and where you're going. Maps are drawings of a place. Maps can show anywhere from a very small place, like a classroom or a city or a town, to a very large place, like a state or a country. So you'll see that up here, she's looking at a map that she drew. Down here, they're looking at a map, probably of a park that they're at. How many of you have seen your parents or another adult on a phone or on an iPad looking at a GPS? That's another way to find a map that can help you to get from one place to another. So how do maps help us? Did you say they help us find our way around and how to get from one place to another? That's correct. There are maps of different places. There are maps for all of the American states. This is a map of California. This is a map of the United States. It shows that there are 50 American states. So you can kind of see that California is like a puzzle piece that fits down here. And that CA is an abbreviation for California. It's just a short way to say California. Do you know which state you live in? If you look really close, we live in North Carolina. NC is the way to abbreviate North Carolina. Do y'all remember how many states we have in our country? Did you say 50? There are 50. And remember when we've looked at the maps before, I've told you Alaska and Hawaii down here, they're not really down there. They're just harder to get on a flat map. When we look at our globe later, I'll show you on our globe how they're spread out. Now, if you look at the map, there are some blue areas on the map over here. Those represent the oceans. So those bodies of water are large and they surround our country. On the left side, we have the Pacific Ocean, and on the right side, we have the Atlantic Ocean. How many of you have ever visited the ocean? I bet most of you have. We don't live very far from the Atlantic Ocean. So the thin blue lines, which are kind of hard to see on this map, but there's some tiny ones there, the bigger one there, like I showed on the map at the beginning, those are rivers. Rivers are made of fresh water, where oceans are made of salt water. So you cannot drink the water in the ocean, it will make you sick. And you shouldn't drink water in a river either unless it's been cleaned. But remember how we talked about the water cycle and how that water needs to get cleaned? So what does the map of the United States show us? Did you say it shows us all 50 states? It shows us rivers and oceans? That's correct. There are many countries in the world. Most countries are found on large areas of land that we call continents. Altogether, there are 7 continents. You can see the 7 continents on this map of the world. The United States of America is on the continent of North America. Here's North America right there. The map also shows the oceans of the world in blue. The 2 largest oceans are the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. Here you can see the Pacific Ocean. Down here, this picture. So a continent is one of the largest areas of land on Earth. There are 7 continents that we're going to be learning about. On a continent, there are several countries, though. So we're going to kind of go through all this, and we're going to go from biggest to smallest as we learn. So you remember what the name of the continent we live on is? Yes, North America. We will learn more about that tomorrow. So let's see, what is a continent? Did you say a large area of land? That's correct. How many continents are there? Yes, I said there are 7. How are oceans shown on the map or the globe? They're shown in blue. And what are the names of the oceans that are located on either side of the United States? Do you remember? The Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. One thing I want to point out is on here, it says Pacific Ocean and Pacific Ocean. There's only one Pacific Ocean. But the reason it's on here twice is because remember, a map is a flattened out version of our globe. So actually, if I could make my paper rounded, they would go together and make that one big ocean. There's my globe. So this is a globe. A globe is different from a map. It is a round model of our world, which we call Earth. Earth is round, you see. The farthest northern point on Earth is called the North Pole, and the farthest southern point on Earth is called the South Pole. Down here on the bottom, this is Earth. Earth is our home in space. So remember, the point at the top is called the what? Yes, the North Pole. And the point at the bottom is called the what? Yes, the South Pole. And remember, Earth, we've learned a lot about Earth. Earth is another name for our world. What shape is the Earth? I hope you said sphere. Do you remember that word? And what is a globe? It's a model of our Earth. How are a map and a globe different? Yes, a map is flat and a globe is not. How are maps helpful? What kinds of information can we find on a map? Did you say they help us find our way around? That's correct. And we can find things out like where countries are, where continents are, rivers, oceans. So it can give us a lot of information. All right, one last thing I wanted to show you is on my globe. So we're going to come back over here. That is the continent of Africa, which we'll learn about soon. Let's find where we live. There we go. There's North America. Remember I told you about Hawaii and Alaska? This is Alaska. So do you see how it's not connected to the other part of our country? That's why on a flat map they have to just draw it in separate. And then Hawaii, it's this little pink one right out here. So it's very far out in the Pacific Ocean. You see all this is that Pacific Ocean. And then here is the Atlantic Ocean. Those are the 2 that are near us, but there's some other ones. Let's see, here's the Indian Ocean. There, down here it says Southern Ocean. We've got lots of seas and different things on there as well. Anyway, we're going to learn about all these 7 continents over the next few days. I hope you're ready to learn. See you soon. Bye-bye.